What is the latest in the Dalvin Cook sweepstakes? We dive in with the man that would know everything about it right now here on the show. Let's go. Zoinks! It is unequivocally the Super Bowl for New York Jet fans.
Field Yates, baby. Field Gosh darn Yates. Let's bring him on the show.
Come on, people. Connor Rogers is joining the show. What's up, Connor? But Trevor Gosh darn Sycamore, baby, for me, personally, my favorite New York Jet of all time.
Wow, it's great to be on. What an intro that was right there.
Paul, nobody does an intro like you, man.
Paul, you give the best intro of literally any podcast that I've ever been.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas.
Hey everybody, my name is Paul Esden Jr., aka Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com, and we got a special guest joining us here on today's program. His name is Zach Hiller, and we're going to bring him on. He is the agent for Dalvin Cook, LAA Sports and Entertainment, loyalty above all, baby. And let's bring him in, Zach gosh darn Hiller, baby. What's up, Zach?
What's happening? Thank you for having me.
You're a hot ticket item, Zach. You're a hot ticket item right now as your client, Dalvin Cook.
It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me.
Come on. You're the puppet master. You got to pull all the strings behind the scenes. You're the guy silently in the background, making sure your guys get what they deserve.
What's cutting out?
Oh, yeah,
Hello?
you got me, Zach? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you got disconnected for a second. Yeah, now I can. Yeah.
Oh no, that's okay. So let's dive into it. Your client, Dalvin Cook, is a free agent. He shakes free from Minnesota. What's the latest? First off? I guess we'll start here. What's the timeline? We're here in the beginning portions of July. Training camp is a handful of weeks today. What's the timeline on a potential deal here for Dalvin?
It's just every day by day, just taking it day by day. As football season approaches, that's when the attention goes towards the season and locking in for the next, I guess, 7 months to win a Super Bowl. So as everyone's attention diverts to football's really here, I think that's really, as far as a timeline, just day by day.
Okay, so there is no specific date in mind. Man, we really want him on an NFL team by blah. That's not a part of the process.
No, not at all. It's when he feels comfortable in the right situation and he's confident in his decision, that's all that matters. Dalvin's gonna go dominate, whether he's signed today or whenever it is. So there's no real definitive date, I would say, that, hey, we have to be signed by this date.
What are the factors in a Dalvin Cook signing? What is he looking for? We're on one of those dating profiles. What are the attributes there? What's going on?
He's looking for, a team that is right there. The team that everyone right now, not everyone, but there's teams that you can clearly see are contenders, and you can see that there's teams that are just not even, really going for it or really going to make a mark. And then there's what, we call pretenders, which is like, oh, okay, we're just going to be good enough and we look good enough. So he's trying to figure out who are the real contenders and that he can put over the top to win a Super Bowl. So that's really what it comes down to.
Are any visits planned for Dalvin Cook as he's trying to make this decision?
There's some visits that'll be coming up, maybe. Ooh. If we, decide to officially go on them. But right this second, I can't tell you that they're like locked in, but like, hey, would you come out on this date? And we're like, we'll get back to you.
Okay. Is that a prerequisite to sign? Some free agents like going to places, seeing the whole, a boot and caboodle, red carpet rolled out, and some others don't necessarily need that before making a decision. Is that necessary?
It cut out for a second. All I heard was red carpet. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So is a visit a prerequisite for Dalvin Cook signing somewhere? Does he have to visit somewhere before making a decision?
Not necessarily, no. I wouldn't say that's, imperative in the sense where, if he goes on a visit, it's because he wants to just get a better feel. And if he doesn't go on a visit, it's because he's already analyzed the situation. He's spoken to, the people that he needs to talk to make sure that it's going to be a great situation. Like, he's been in the league now, right? So he knows everybody. Everybody knows him. They know who he is as a person. And you know what you're getting, right? You're getting 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons, 4 straight Pro Bowls, 107 scrimmage yards per game. He's actually over the last, I guess, second in scrimmage yards over the last 4 years. So you know what you're getting, and obviously, so no, I wouldn't say a visit is a prerequisite, but maybe we'll go on visits just get a better feel.
Man, Zach, the way you're talking with all these statistics, you're throwing them out left and right. I feel like I need you as my agent for gosh darn sake, man. Here for LAA Sports and Entertainment, man. That's what I'm feeling right now. I'm getting that vibe.
I got you.
There have been a lot of reports on the ESPNs of the world and other places that there are multiple offers right now on the table from NFL teams for Dalvin Cook. Can you confirm that?
Yeah, that's obvious.
Okay. And are you guys seeking a 1-year deal? Just, hey, let's go chase a chip this year, or would you be open to a multi-year deal?
Again, it's just evaluating every situation and then making the best decision. So, it's open to everything at this point. But ultimately, the goal is to win a Super Bowl. Ultimately, the goal is to win a Super Bowl. So,
again, we're speaking with Zach Hiller here of LAA Sports and Entertainment, Dalvin Cook's agent here on the program. Like I said, this is kind of a weird question to ask an agent, but how big of a deal is finances on Dalvin Cook's next spot?
Again, he just wants to win a Super Bowl. So, when you say how big of a deal, he wants to win a Super Bowl. And I think that teams that want to win a Super Bowl should figure out what a Super Bowl is worth, right? You're talking about, winning a Super Bowl, being the best team in the National Football League. What does that bring for a franchise, right? Like, what does that bring to a city? So I think you have to value that. And that's the most important thing, is the teams figuring out, hey, what is a Super Bowl worth? And when they figure that out, then, again, Dalvin's just looking to win a Super Bowl.
Fair enough. Zach, obviously, you ran off the stats earlier. Things have been going really well for Dalvin Cook. 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons, 4 straight Pro Bowls, and all that jazz. But the Vikings choose to move on. Is this just a weird financial situation that happened there in Minnesota that ultimately led to Dalvin being this unrestricted free agent who's this star player, obviously at this point in his career?
I think it goes back to like what I said, right? Trying to figure out who are the contenders, who are the pretenders, and who's, not even, really going to make a mark. So, again, it's 100% a business. And, so certain teams that know they aren't going to go all the way might want to, save some money. Because again, like you brought up finances and whatnot, it's a business, right? So, hey, if we're not going to go all the way anyways, we might as well, try to save as much money as possible this year instead. So that's really what it came down to, I think.
Let me ask you in terms of another factor. This is what people from the outside say as they're trying to figure out where Dalvin could potentially land. Does it matter if a team has what seems to be some talented running backs on the team? Would that deter Dalvin from possibly going to a certain team?
I don't know why that would deter someone from going to a certain team. I don't he wants
like
to go
reps
to a team
wise,
that win a Super Bowl.
No, I gotcha. But I'm just saying that some people would speculate, you go to a certain team, they already have a proven back there. Maybe Dalvin's like, well, I don't want to be working with that guy. I want to be my own man. I want to get a lot of the rock, as he should, quite frankly, with what he's been able to do.
Dalvin's a team player. He wants to win a Super Bowl. That was the whole thing. Even last year when, they didn't run the football to get yards. They ran the football to set up the pass. Like, that's all they did. And he still, you didn't hear a word from him or anything. Obviously he went out there, and when he did get opportunities, he hit home runs. And that's what he does. And that's what, he brings to a team. And he's going to be a team first guy. So that's what it comes down to. He just wants to win a Super Bowl, and he can put a team over the top. So no, having other talented running backs is, great, because it just makes the team better, and everyone, pushing each other, but then you go back to a proven back. Like there isn't many backs in the league that are more proven than Dalvin when you look at the career statistics, like 107 yards per game. You know, I don't know if you cut out, but there's only one running back active right now that has more yards per game than him. There's only really one player that has more scrimmage yards per game than him over their career. So I don't really know who's possibly more proven in the league besides that player. I guess you would say, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, Dalvin's resume, I think, speaks for itself in a lot of different respects. Yeah. So I want to just read you this report that came out this week, and I'm just curious your thoughts on it. Mike Florio of NBC Sports and Pro Football Talk said the Jets are quote unquote gaining momentum in the Dalvin Cook sweepstakes. What's your response to that?
I think that the Jets have a great thing going. I think that I think they're all in. They want to win a Super Bowl. I think they want to bring a Super Bowl to New York City. They brought in an incredible first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. Like, you don't just, those aren't just out there like that. Like, that guy is a complete, franchise city changing player. And that's somebody that you absolutely want to play with, at some point in your career, 100%. Like, to get the opportunity to play with somebody of that caliber, you can go to the Super Bowl, and and that's all it's about. It's winning Super Bowls, right? Like, you play football your whole life for the opportunity to get to the highest level, and that's winning a Super Bowl. So as far as like the New York Jets, I believe they're right there. I really do. Just as a football fan, I believe they're right there. Because when you have Aaron Rodgers, in the backfield, you're always right there. So you add in, you sprinkle in a little game changing home run ability, and I think you really can go all the way, because that's what it comes down to, right? Football is a game of inches, and it takes one play. So you could be at the 1 yard line, right? I think that happened in the Ravens-Bengals game, and 99-yard play, right? So now that's what you want. You want a guy on your team and on your offense that and the other team knows at the same time that every time he's on the field, he can score. Doesn't matter what the play call is. You just give him a tiny little crease. You just give him that rock, he's gone. So, I think when you combine that with a Hall of Fame quarterback, and they got some serious weapons on the outside, right? They have the offensive rookie of the year. And then obviously the defense is stacked already. To me, it looks like a great situation. I think the Jets have something great going on.
Zach, where were you born and raised?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, Zach, where were you born and raised?
Oh, I'm from New York. I'm from Suffolk, New York.
New York. Oh, interesting. No, that's
I'm a New Yorker.
Did you root for a certain team growing up? Was there any team that stood out?
I was a football fan my whole life.
Sure.
And there's no real team in particular that I'd say I favored over another. I just really was a football fan, and then obviously I support my clients, and just I root for them. And that's where my and their interest is always most important.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm from New York, but obviously my clients' interests are most important. And I just evaluate situations like football wise, right? So again, when you look at the Jets, I think they're really in a great, position. Their schedule is definitely tough, 100%, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that the AFC East did get, an interesting draw, because I think you have to play the Chiefs. You play the Eagles. Play the Cowboys. You play a bunch of playoff teams. You got a lot of primetime games also. But obviously the best players, obviously under the brightest lights, make the most plays. And I think that's something that Dalvin's proven over his career, is that when the lights are on, he actually goes the hardest. But yeah, I'm from New York, but no, I don't have any, loyalty to anybody but my clients.
Fair enough. It's just an interesting nugget, nonetheless. Have the Jets been one of the teams that have reached out? Can you confirm that?
There's been tons of interest from all teams. I mean, there's just been tons of interest everywhere. Every team that is, right there. There's been interest from, and there's mutual interest as well, because again, it goes back to Dalvin just wants to win a Super Bowl. That's all he wants to do. So if the team is all in and ready to go and wants to win a Super Bowl this year, that's what's important to that team. There's mutual interest there.
We've kind of hinted at this throughout the interview, but I just want to ask it directly. Would Dalvin Cook be interested in signing with the New York Jets this offseason?
again, any team that wants to win a Super Bowl has put the pieces in place to win a Super Bowl. Why would you not be interested, right? Why would you not be interested in a team that has a Hall of Fame quarterback, right? That it has a stacked defense. Like you're going to be interested in the teams that want to win. Like that's just what it comes down to. Being, a football player like Dalvin is. Like Dalvin loves football. He lives, eats, sleeps, breathes football. He always has. He loves it. So, and that's what you dream of. You dream of winning a Super Bowl. So any team that has the pieces in Super Bowl, that's where he wants to play.
So you mentioned earlier that, when Dalvin Cook makes a decision, obviously we'll kind of move on here. Is that kind of what we're waiting for at this stage? Just Dalvin making a decision based on all these teams that have expressed interest?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Yeah. So you've mentioned that when Dalvin Cook makes a decision, you guys will move on. So I'm asking, is that the only thing kind of holding this thing up at this point? Is Dalvin Cook picking among the teams that have expressed interest? Is that what we're waiting for?
It's kind of cutting out a little bit, but I think I heard part of it was something about like holding up or something. It cut out. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. No problem. So I'm just asking that, is the only thing that we're waiting for now is Dalvin Cook to make a decision? Like, teams have expressed interest. Are we just waiting for him to pick a team, basically? Is that all we're waiting for?
As far as, again, there's more to it than just, obviously that. It's timing wise for, him and, just getting, into the right situation. That's all it comes down to. There's no holdups. There's no nothing. There's just, figuring out exactly when the right time and the right place is to play. Because again, right, you bring in Dalvin Cook, again, 107 yards per game, 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons, 4 straight Pro Bowls, captain of the Vikings his entire career. You can ask any player over there about what he brings to a locker room, right? So sometimes when you have a guy like that, you want to bring them in at the right time with the right energy to ride that through the next grind of the 17 weeks, right? Like football season is an absolute grind. And that's why also, the last couple weeks, it's been a little bit of a slow period because everybody are out on vacation before they lock in to, go try to win a Super Bowl. At least the teams are actually focused on winning the Super Bowl this year. So again, right, you bring in a guy like Dalvin Cook, you want that energy coming in and everybody else around being a part of that energy. And, it's kind of like a final piece of the puzzle that really puts a team over the top. So
Zach, I know you're an agent, not a football analyst, but there's 32 teams in the NFL. How many of them legitimately are contenders that can really win a Super Bowl? Not everyone probably says it, but they don't all mean it.
I mean, listen, it's any given Sunday, right? Like, yeah, any team can win on any given day. How many teams, can you look at and say, all right, this team, could really go all the way? Like, this team is really right there. You add in a little bit of game-changing ability, and keep the defense on its heels. They're going to go all the way. There's a couple teams. There's a couple teams for sure.